Hi, my name is Israel, and welcome to Where is God? This episode here is called Atomic Geometry and the Story of Genesis. And it's very interesting to note that these symbols here will be covered, and you're going to learn their true origins, their genesis, so to speak, overall their true meaning. So without further ado, let's begin. So did you know that atomic geometry correlates with the story of Genesis in the Bible? Observe here the Genesis pattern. This pattern here is the blueprint for the beginning of everything in existence. And it's astonishing how the story of Genesis describes the movement of energy within the quantum field using this pattern here, with each of the spheres representing a different day, oldest story ever told. When describing the story of Genesis as it's written, and the earth was without form and void, darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved. So on the first day of Genesis, Spirit of God moved a 360-degree angle and created the first energetic sphere over the void. And the Spirit of God moved to the edge of the first sphere, and existence came into being. And here we get our first symbol, and it has been widely misinterpreted throughout the ages, and it's known as the Vesica Piscis. Long before ancient times, it has been the symbol of light. There's geometric information about light within the symbol, and it goes on forever. But we'll get back to that in a moment. But it is important to note that on the first day, as it's written in Genesis, the first movement, God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. No more darkness within the void. Then the Spirit of God moved to the edge of the second sphere and created the third. And this is where we get the origin of the symbol of the Holy Trinity. Represents not only the separation of body, mind, and spirit, but also its union. In scientific terminology, we have God vibrating at the speed of light, and we have the sun residing within physical matter, that is within our condensed slow vibrations, our third dimension. Spirit being the connection between the two, so forming three very important aspects of energy. On the fourth day in the Bible, exactly one half of all creation had been completed. That comes right after the fourth sphere. And every time the Spirit of God moved, more knowledge and information came in existence, and existence itself came into being. And in the beginning, there were six spheres, 6 days, 6 nights. On the seventh day, God rested. This here, the Genesis pattern, the movement of atomic energy at the speed of light, getting ready to form physical reality as we know it. The physical reality is matter converted from the speed of light to condensed slow vibrations, forming what we perceive as a solid. Everything in existence came from this, the Genesis pattern. Now when you draw straight lines connecting the dots from the center of all the spheres, you get the hexagon or Metatron's cube, which we will explain in another video. But the more lines you draw, more dimensions become apparent within this hexagon. And it brings light to why so many cultures consider this symbol sacred. And it is because it is the symbol of the story of creation in a nutshell. Now let's go back to the Vesica Piscis, the symbol of light. Now when God said, "Let there be light," it created the first symbol of light within the pattern, but as you can see, it repeats itself and spread to infinity. When the universe expanded, so did light. Now, there are several reasons why the symbol represents light. One reason being it's important to note that light is perceived through the eyes, or vice versa, you're only allowed to see what visible light allows you to see within the electromagnetic spectrum. But within the Genesis pattern, as creation expanded, so did light, and the universe as a whole. The symbol of light is even apparent in our DNA. And this formula within physical matter is followed by cell division during conception, and it literally repeats the Genesis pattern within the womb, in its version within physical matter. And here lies another interpretation for the symbol of light, and that is that although we don't remember it as we are born, we see this light on our way out of the womb and into the world. Hence the term "gave light to my newborn." God's creations are perfect. God's Genesis pattern in the beginning was his full intent with pure love to create you.
You are made of light, converted from the speed of light to physical matter, with the intent for you to create as well, as God's plan is repeated through the Genesis pattern to our very own. And ever since God said the word, "Let there be light," was his permission for our existence to light over the darkness and over the void. Never has science shown the correlation of the story of Genesis with the structure of atomic energy, or even God for that matter. It's such an ill intent to put darkness and void where true credit is due to the true creator of light and existence as we know it. Where is God is a series, and although you've heard the cliche that God is everywhere, the intent is to show just how true that statement is. From the microcosm to the macrocosm, inward and outward, fractals within fractals to infinity, smaller and smaller, to infinity, bigger and bigger. From the spirals within the spirals of phi, a mathematic sequence that nature will always follow, is infinite. God's fingerprint. The precision of the universe has one powerful architect, that is God. God is indeed everywhere. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening. Hope to see you next time.